again, as always, in the matchless glorious and precious name of Jesus. This video is going to be about my review or thoughts on the Flash season 3 as a whole. So this season was basically at least the first 9 episodes were dealt with the ramifications of Barry causing Flashpoint by saving his mom at the end of season 2, and the next 14 episodes revolved around Barry trying to saving Iris from being killed by Savitar. So yeah, buckle up, people, because this might be a very long video. So here's what I liked. I liked the fact that WestAllen was finally established as a couple. At last, it's been a long time coming. I loved it. I loved that they're finally together as a couple. They're finally together as a couple, and that Barry proposed to her in episode 17. And that was good. And here's what else. I like seeing Wally West. I love seeing finally that Wally West was established as Kid Flash in this season. Although I wish it had happened earlier, at least by season 2. Glad that he was established as he became Kid Flash this season, and he provided some levity in the season. Here's what else I liked. And the third thing I liked was Julian Albert. I loved having Tom Felton on the show. For the record, you all should know this, but Tom Felton portrayed Draco Malfoy in the Harry Potter series in the movies. I loved having him around. Loved having him bringing Barry down a peg. And I also loved him joining Team Flash. That was good. And now, here's what I did not like. There was a lot. Let's begin with, and I almost don't know where to begin, but let's start here. Another villainous speedster as the main villain. It's worn out its welcome. And first things first, I was cool with there being a villainous speedster in season 1. Because come on, I was cool with it on that one. I was starting to get a little bit annoyed in season 2 that we were going to have another villainous speedster for the season. But I was all right. Some part of me was cool with it. Now I'm kind of fed. At first when they told me that Dr. Alchemy and Savitar were going to be the main villains of season 3. I was hoping that maybe Savitar, the villainous speedster, would be defeated by the mid-season finale, and Savitar will be dealt with by the season finale itself. Only to find out that Alchemy was just its subservient to Savitar, and we had the villainous speedster was the main villain overall, and by that point I was just pretty much annoyed. Very annoyed. Now, going on to next. I just felt like we didn't have as many full ramifications for Flashpoint as we should have. I'm referring to basically Iris and Joe being estranged. Really. Because I wish they had stayed estranged for at least up to episode 9, or at the very least, or anywhere for more than one, for at least episode 4 or till episode 9, or at most somewhere after, or at most episode 23, so it could show Barry what happens when you mess with the timeline. Selfishly, unfortunately, it was just over. They were back. Joe and Iris were back to being back on great terms by the end of the episode, and that annoyed me. And besides, I just feel like that's unrealistic, and it makes Iris look, I don't know, it just makes Iris look a little bit too, I don't know how to say it, maybe a doormat. Yeah, and moreover, it was like nobody got over what Barry did. That he just ignored the fact that he just went back in time and messed with their lives. Everybody was cool with that. Unfortunately, Killer Frost, the episode Killer Frost brought that, changed that, adjusted some of that, but some of that with the edit brought that out, and it caused him and Cisco to be falling out for only a short time. But unfortunately, that was dealt with by Legends of Two. Dealt with in the next step by the last part of the Invasion crossover on Legends of Tomorrow. Though I think he should have been angry with him in episode 2, and they should have gotten back together by that episode. Yeah. Let's see. That's one thing. And also another thing, Flashpoint could have been a great chance to bring people back from the dead, like Captain Cold, Plastique, Floyd Lawton, all those sorts of people. But they decide not to take advantage of any of that. So here's what else I did not like. The overly fatalistic feel in that back half of the episode. It was like they couldn't fight fate and they couldn't stop Iris from being saved from dying at the hands of Savitar. That was just some crap. It just felt like, why should I be watching? It just felt fate when against everything the Flash was for. Yeah. The biggest offender or the second biggest offender would happen to be the dragging out of Savitar reveal. I was just said, by the time we hit episode 19, I was very pissed off that we didn't know who Savitar was. Because in previous seasons, in season 1, we found out who the Reverse Flash was in episode 9. In season 2, we found out who Zoom was in episode 15. And they didn't drag it out. Those are the 2 episodes where the big bad of the season is usually prominent. Here we didn't find out until episode 20, and that was just pissing me off. So this episode pissed me off. So yeah, this season was not the best of seasons. I was expecting a little bit more. It just felt like they had just, for one thing, Iris's agency wasn't really as present as it should have been. And even more so, it was like the overly fatalistic feel and negativity just consumed the show. And it felt like, and it's like, another thing, it feels like there's too much focus on Star Labs. A little bit more focus on other places. And fortunately, in the season finale, despite felt a little anticlimactic at times, but fortunately there was some hope. The season finale had some optimism and funness to it, and we finally see. Okay, let me start like this. The season finale gave us showed us some prominent hints for the future. Like it had Barry finally pay the consequences for creating Flashpoint by having to go into the Speed Force, aka the fate worse than death that Savitar proclaimed in episode 9. And there was some hope and optimism. Which is promising, which probably is hopeful, as the Flash will be returning to form in season 4. Here are my most favorite episodes, in this order. Cause and Effect. It basically showed Barry as he was Barry in a lighter headspace like he was in season 1. That's in AbraKadadbra. The titular villain made a great impression on me. A very good impression on me. And Flashpoint. That episode was just, I liked all the WestAllen moments. I loved the feel of the episode. all in all, I'm going to have to give this season. Now, I've been debating which seasons was worse, season 2 or season 3. And I'm going to say season 3 was worse because season 2 still had some more potential. So, all in all, I'm going to give this season a 7.3 out of 10. Hopefully the season, the stuff we saw in the finale is sign that the next season will be better. All right, that's all for this video.